What up? This is Brent Brown, and I'm going to talk to you about my acoustic looping pedal board rig. Now, if you're not a musician or interested in how to loop, this might not be the video for you because I'm going to go pretty deep. If you're interested in seeing what it's all about anyways, feel free to check out the rest of the video, but if not, here's a link to somewhere you can just watch me for performing, and I love you so much. Thank you for your support. We're going to get into it. So this is my pedal board case, essentially just a suitcase I found that fit the dimensions of my pedal board. And you can buy anything that works for you, you know? I was lucky to have a friend's dad who made this actual board for me, but essentially I got my mixers on top here, got a compact stand, microphone, harmonica harness, some cords, volume pedal for the loop pedal, and then a yoga mat. And actually what I did with this yoga mat is buy a whole one, cut it pretty much 3/4 of the way up, and then attached the part that I cut to the bottom half so it's twice as thick where I'm standing, and that just gives me some extra cush, because when you're standing all day or playing gigs, it's really nice for your joints to do that. And also the thinner portion is where I set my pedal board, so you can cut this to the dimensions of your stuff, but I like this because you don't slide around then on the bottom, and also it gives some extra cush for your board. I guess maybe stuff doesn't rip off as easily from you stomping on it. So I've got everything pretty much plugged in already. So part of the battle of making like an intense loop rig is how quick can I set it up. So I got one power cord that runs out of this puppy, and then on the bottom, let's see if I can show you this quick. On the bottom I've got quite a heap going on, but that's the power supply, and then a power strip. So essentially I've got the mixers that are running off of this strip, and I've got all the pedals. I've got like 8 pedals that are running off the power supply, and a light, just because, might as well make it look cool. But you gotta zip tie everything down really securely, because the last thing you want is for you to be at a show and have no idea what isn't working and why. So try to make sure nothing in the case is pushing on any power cords and stuff like that. Anywho, this right here is my kick pedal. You can get this on eBay if you. I'll put a link, but I shaved it down a little bit to make it thinner, and I wrapped it in a leather that I bought from Hobby Lobby. It's just an artificial leather, and then I run that into, well, it's a fuzz pedal. I used to use an EQ pedal, but I found an octave fuzz pedal, and I took off all the tone and essentially made it so that this little kick is just throwing out a sub frequency to my system. So that's how I get my kick effect. You probably have to mess around a while till you get that, but a good starting point is to just use some EQ, take off all the treble, and just turn up the bass on the thing. Make sure the sub hertz frequency cut, or the 60 hertz cut, isn't on. All right, so my guitar and my microphone and this stomp box are all running into this first mixer, and everything from that first mixer is running out into my boomerang looper, the Phrase 3 sampler. And then all of that is running out of the looper into the second mixer. Now the reason it's going into the second mixer is because this pedal right here is splitting my microphone signal. So I'm running my microphone into the TC Helicon vocal processor, so I can get things like harmonies and delays.
And also crazy octaves.
And then this pedal here, which I just did that with, extends out of the TC Helicon. It's a really sweet pedal. I think if you're performing solo, it's just a huge boost in just sound that you can get out of your vocals, you know, when you're in a live setting. So yes, I run into the TC Helicon vocal processor, out of the processor, into the splitter. It's an XLR splitter, and one of those goes into the first mixer, which goes into the looper, which is how I loop my vocal. So it'll be like, and then if I click it, it goes to the second mixer and is joined by the loop signal, but without looping the vocal. So, see, my guitar picked up, but my voice didn't then. That's something you got to do when you do that, though, is you got to make sure that it sounds the same on both of them. So you got to make sure they're the same level. So before you start, you'll be like, oh, check 1, 2 on the first one. You might go to the second one. You're like, check 1, 2, check, check. Oh, it's a little quiet. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. You know what I'm saying. Okay, so anyways, this is the volume pedal for the looper. And, hey, 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 hey. So anywho, I'll loop choruses with that, and every time the chorus comes back around, I'll sing the harmony on the chorus, and you can see, I'll post a video at the end with me actually performing a song, so you can see all this in process. But anyways, thought I'd talk about some of the pedals. The Crybaby, one of my favorite pedals ever, one of my first pedals, and I don't just use that for the wah-wah effect. I also use that to sort of swell into different loops and whatnot, and I also use it to cut through the mix, so I'll just engage it. So say I'm like, but I'm like, it's not cutting through the mix. I could be like, and now it's on like its own frequency. And then the Tube Screamer, the Smolder Overdrive by Fender, coupled with the Tube Screamer, super dirty. And then the Pog, use this as a bass. Carbon copy is really sweet. So when you're soloing. And also, when you have the Crybaby on with the octaver, you can actually get some things that aren't just bass. Okay, and then we also got the Canyon by Electro Harmonics, and I get a really nice reverse guitar effect out of this, and that's why I like it. Wrong one. Anyways, I think that's fabulous. I love Jimi Hendrix, so I gotta have that. And then, yeah, what else? I guess if you guys have any more questions on anything, please just send them in the comments, and I would love to answer you and help in any way I can. Send links, be more specific. I love you. Thank you so much for your support. I hope this video helped you in some way.